Hello and welcome to Byjus Exam Prep IAS. I welcome you all to today's Hindu newspaper analysis. Before we take up the articles from the newspaper, a couple of important announcements. Number one, as you know, we are now on Telegram as well. I hope all of you have already joined the Telegram channel of Byjus Exam Prep IAS and you're getting all the latest current affairs updates on that channel. If you have not done so till now, please don't forget to use the link given in the description of the video and join the channel right away. Secondly, tomorrow is the day that we have the National Scholarship Test. This is an online test which will be held at 11 a.m. tomorrow and it gives you a chance to win up to 90% scholarship on the Byjus IAS courses. Don't forget to register. You can just click on the link given in the description of the video and register for this test free of cost to get to know the level of your preparation. Now let's start with the first article that mainly focuses on the development model of the state of Tamil Nadu. The authors here are saying that unlike the other states in India, there is something very peculiar about the development model of Tamil Nadu. For instance, if you look at the number of people living in the urban areas across the country, you will see Tamil Nadu is one of those states which is highly urbanized. What they have done very well is, while in other states there are only two or three main cities, like you talk about UP, Gujarat, Maharashtra, there are only a few handful of cities which provide a good standard of living and good jobs. But in Tamil Nadu, what the government over the decades has done is they have ensured that they actually develop and build infrastructure in multiple urban areas. That is why, if you look at the census numbers also, the proportion of Tamil Nadu's population living in the urban areas is one of the highest in the entire country. In 2011 census, when all India average of 34% people lived in the urban areas, in Tamil Nadu, that number was 48.4%. So close to 50% or half of Tamil Nadu's population lives in the urban areas. Not just this, 7 out of 8 households in Tamil Nadu rely on non-farm sector. Now, why is this so significant? Reliance on non-farm sector means that the people are not really reliant on the climatic conditions. They are not reliant on how much rainfall would they receive or there would be a drought or flood, etc. Their earning potential is in their hands and that is why it is so significant. That's why you see whenever we have any index or list that measures the standard of living of people across the country, Tamil Nadu features right there somewhere at the top. This is what Tamil Nadu has been able to achieve. Now, yes, they had a certain advantage at the time of independence. Madras, for example, was one of the most developed cities when the British left India. But after that, the successive governments, as per the author, mainly the DMK government, has ensured that the Tamil Nadu development model rises above any caste, religion, etc. And they focus on infrastructural development and agricultural modernization as well. The author says that there's a very interesting finding from Tamil Nadu. If you see, after independence, India was still very strict with the caste system. That is, the kind of occupation that you can take up was mainly dependent on your caste, on your community. The Vaishya community, for example, were considered as a trading community. So they were supposed to take up trading, business, etc. But in Tamil Nadu, however, it was different. Tamil Nadu was held because of the fact that there was almost negligent Vaishya community present in Tamil Nadu. So that void that had to be filled in the trading community was filled by the people from other community. And that is why you see that Tamil Nadu right now has the highest proportion of Dalits and backward caste entrepreneurs, many of them from small towns. This is also a shining light of the Tamil Nadu model that has been extremely successful. The interesting part is that this goes against the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi. If you remember, Mahatma Gandhi had advised the governments to focus on development of the villages to ensure that people don't have to move from villages to the urban areas. The people should be given skills to earn their livelihood in the villages. But Tamil Nadu has gone contrary to that and has rather focused on giving improved amenities in the urban areas. Successive governments have improved transport connectivity, access to electricity, medical, educational facilities, etc. The authors say that one of the other reasons why Tamil Nadu has actually done much better as compared to other states is that mostly, if you look at the history of Tamil Nadu, they have not really been ruled by Congress or BJP for a very long time. Because there are regional parties such as the DMK or AIADMK that have for long been in power in Tamil Nadu, their model of governance, their working style is very different. That has also helped Tamil Nadu. This is also something that the other states can learn as per the author. The author says that the state has been a pioneer in ensuring that the PDS, public distribution system, works flawlessly. We have discussed this earlier as well. One great thing about Tamil Nadu and Kerala as well is, irrespective of whichever party comes to power, it is very well renowned that their public distribution system, for example, any benefit that has to be given to the common people, is very, very good. There are no loopholes in that, and that is why you can see these states coming up right at the top whenever you talk about the standard of living. As I said earlier, the last census numbers, that is the census of 2011, showed us Tamil Nadu is the third most urbanized state. The interesting part is, in terms of real numbers, Maharashtra is first, UP was second, Tamil Nadu is third. If you look at the size of the other two states, Maharashtra, UP, you would see that for their size, the number of people living in their urban areas is still lower. So Tamil Nadu, in proportion terms, has done even better than them in shifting people towards urban areas and asking them to take up other livelihood activities apart from agriculture. One other good thing that the Tamil Nadu government has done is, they have not just shifted people to the urban areas, they have also taken care of their needs. For example, the Tamil Nadu government has implemented the Kalaignar Urban Development Scheme, which is similar to the Manarega scheme which runs in the rural areas. This is an urban development scheme mainly for building infrastructure in the cities like community halls, markets, etc. And because of which people will be given jobs so that they can develop this infrastructure. So it's not that they are just pushing people to go to cities. They're also ensuring that the cities have enough adequate facilities and infrastructure to actually be able to handle all these people. The objective behind such schemes is to ensure that the growing urban population of Tamil Nadu, which is expected to reach 60% by 2036, is accommodated properly. Because if you have a situation where a lot of people are shifting from rural to the urban areas, but they don't have proper facilities, they don't have proper housing, this is what leads to the problems of slums. Slums actually come into the picture, people's sanitation goes for a toss, people's health facilities goes for a toss, and that is what they can't afford. This is why they are first preparing all this infrastructure so that the influx of people in the urban areas can be managed. Also, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw a lot of people losing their jobs in the urban areas as well. This is a scheme to create more jobs for them as well. So the government is trying to serve a dual purpose with such kind of schemes. The next article that we have here is on the topic of neo-Buddhism or Buddhism. Basically, before going deeper into it, just understand the three-letter word neo, N-E-O, mainly refers to new or new form of something. Like neo-Buddhist means new form of Buddhism. Neoliberalism means new form of liberalism. Similarly, there is neo-colonialism, there is neo-capitalism. So whenever you prefix the word neo, that means a new form of that particular ideology. The author here says that if you go back in history, 14th October 1956 was the day that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, along with 5 lakh of his followers, converted to Buddhism at Nagpur's Diksha Bhumi. This was a landmark movement in India, and people had thought that after this there would be a big boost given to the Buddhist religion in the country. It was thought that neo-Buddhism, that is a new form of Buddhism now, would actually be able to elevate the status of the untouchables, the Dalits, who were not given the kind of respect that they deserve in the Hindu religion. However, if you look at the reality today, the hope that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and his followers had still remains unfulfilled. Today, the Buddhist population in India is not even 1 crore as per the last census. Even within the Dalit community that was expected to convert to Buddhism in large numbers, many of them have not done that after the passing away of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. If you look at the state-wise distribution of Buddhists in India, it is actually Maharashtra that accounts for close to 80% of Buddhists living in India. Yes, Buddhists have tried to establish their own education institutions, cultural movements, public festivals, but the fact remains that these kind of movements have remained restricted to Maharashtra only. It was expected that political parties such as the BSP or states where the Dalit population is high, such as Punjab, would see the revival of Buddhism, with many people converting to the new religion, but that also did not happen. So the author says that while people are ready to accept the ideology of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, his followers have not really done justice to his ideas of embracing Buddhism with all their heart. That is why we see Buddhism actually declining in India at a very, very large scale. On the contrary, The ruling party has actually embraced the idea of Buddhism. You see the Prime Minister talking about Buddhist heritage and Buddhist culture. He has been promoting the Buddhist heritage in India and at the international level also. In fact, under the Swadesh Darshan scheme, we also have the Buddhist circuit, underway the government of India is trying to attract as many people as possible towards important, significant Buddhist landmarks. As you know, in India's neighborhood like China, Myanmar, Japan, there's a lot of Buddhist people that reside. They have also ensured their support to the government of India to revive these Buddhist heritage. In fact, Prime Minister visited the Diksha Bhumi in 2017 and paid tribute to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. That is why it is very, very weird that why is it that the opposition parties who have a much greater connection to Buddhism and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, why is it that they are not implementing these kind of ideas? This is the question that the author is raising. In fact, one reason can be after the passing of your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, many people have regarded Buddhism as somewhat a part of Hindutva itself. Buddhism is now more regarded as an integral part of the Indic civilization, that is Sanatan Dharma, and not really a separate religion altogether. This narrative has not been contested by the followers of Buddhism, and that is why you see the number of people who identify themselves as Buddhist in India is on a decline. This is where, as per the author, the political parties who thrive on the identity of the Dalit political class, political parties who want to oppose the ruling party, as per the author, must take advantage of this. Now, let me show you the official figures from the 2011 census. The official data got published only in August 2015, according to which India's total population in 2011 was 121 crores, out of which only 84 lakh were Buddhists, comprising only 0.7%. The only other religious group which was below Buddhist in terms of numbers was Jain with 45 lakh. The credit for the revival of Buddhist and Buddhist culture heritage has to be given to the present government, with initiatives such as a Kushinagar airport being inaugurated, so that if the people want to visit Buddhist heritage, they can do that much easily. In fact, even in the Kushinagar district, which forms such an integral part of Buddhism, only 4,619 people are Buddhists, close to 0.1% only. The UPSC is very, very fond of asking questions regarding Buddhism and Jainism and the places associated with them. So please make sure that you remember these 7 important places. Kushinagar in UP, as you know, is where Lord Buddha attained Mahaparinirvan. There is Sravasti, Vaishali, Rajgir, Sarnath, Bodh Gaya, and Kapilavastu as well. Along with, of course, Lumbini, that is in Nepal. The next article from the front page of the Hindu newspaper is that the Nobel Peace Prize was given to Ales Bialyatsky, the Memorial Organization, and the Center for Civil Liberties. These organizations comprise of human rights activists from Belarus, Russia, and Ukraine. As expected, these people are the ones who have been raising their voice against the Russian invasion of Ukraine and who have been raising their voice against a dictator rule in Belarus as well. As we have discussed earlier multiple times, Belarus still remains the last existing dictatorship in modern day Europe. That is because the dictator of Belarus, that is Lukashenko, has been given complete support by Vladimir Putin. That is why whenever Vladimir Putin takes a stand, you will see that if no other country supports it, Belarus will always support it. So these three together have been given the Nobel Peace Prize. They were not able to receive this because Ales Bialyatsky is under house arrest, is under detention by the Belarus government for a long time. The honor was given for their work of raising voices against the dictator rule and the war crimes happening in Russia and in Belarus. As per the official statement of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, they have made an outstanding effort to document the war crimes, human rights abuse, and the abuse of power. Mr. Ales Bialyatsky is 60 years old and is a founder of a group called Viesna. This group has documented increased instances of dictator rule in Belarus through Lukashenko. Memorial Organization, which is the second organization that is mentioned in this record, has been compiling information on political oppression and human rights violation in Russia specifically. Then we have the Center for Civil Liberties, that is Ukraine based, that came into being in 2007. It has also documented Russian war crimes against the Ukrainian civilian population. This is the biggest news in the world media today. Do read about this in detail as well. The Center for Civil Liberties, that is the third organization that has been mentioned in the Nobel Peace Prize, was founded only in 2007 to promote human rights and democracy in Ukraine. This organization focuses on fighting against corruption and has been pushing for Ukraine to go to the International Criminal Court against Russia and the Russian invasion and the atrocities that Russian army has been imposing on the Ukrainian government. If you want to know a bit of detail about Ales Bialysky, that is a 60-year-old who has been named as Nobel Peace Prize winner, he has been in the news since 1996 when he founded Belarus's human rights organization called Vyasna. This Vyasna organization mainly worked against the rule of President Alexander Lukashenko. Vyasna actually means spring. This provided support to the demonstrators and the families who were protesting against the Belarus president. In 2011, he was jailed for 4.5 years. He is still in jail since 2021 on tax evasion charges, which many people think are fabricated, and the president just wants him to be in the prison. The next article that we have here is about India's cutting-edge astronomical observatory that is in the Henley visit in Ladakh. The article here says that the astrophysicists in India have made great developments in the past few decades or so. One of the reasons why we have been able to make such developments is because we have successfully set up astronomical observatories in multiple parts of India. If you actually look at the history, in 1960s, Indian astronomers discovered an asteroid which was named 4130 Ramanujan. This was the first time in 104 years that asteroids were discovered from India. At that time, this instrument, that was a Schmidt telescope that made the discovery, was actually placed in Kalavur, Tamil Nadu in the Javadi Hills. Later on, it was renamed as the Vainu Bappu Observatory. While this is a good location because it has a good altitude, it has clear skies, so it allows the observations to be made clearly. But the problem is that this particular place is impacted by monsoon clouds, because of which unobstructed view of the night sky is not possible 12 months in a year. That is why for many years, the physicists have been searching for an alternate location. Location which is dry, so no clouds, which is high altitude and desert mainly. If you look at these qualities, dry, high altitude, desert, the one name that comes to your mind should be Ladakh. This is why a new observatory was built in Ladakh. Because such observations and such radiations in order to be captured by the scientists is very difficult. Astronomers have to catch the faintest of radiations that lie outside the range of visible light, so they can't see it with the human eye. These radiations are also absorbed by water vapor, and that is why it's very difficult for them to be caught. This is why this observatory in Ladakh has become so critical for India. Now, this setup in Ladakh is based out of a mountain called Dikpa Ratsari, also called as Mount Saraswati. This is a joint effort by multiple organizations coming together: BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center, TIFR, that is Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and Electronic Corporation of India. They have set up a dish with a diameter of 21 meter, second largest of its kind in the world, and the goal mainly is to detect the Cherenkov radiations that are coming up from the space. This kind of an observatory has multiple other instruments, like we have the 7 telescope contingent called Hagar, High Altitude Gamma Ray. We also have the Himalayan Chandra Telescope, HCT, but the main responsibility of this entire mission is to catch the Cherenkov radiations, and we will talk a bit about that in just a bit. One of the other problems that the scientists have in undertaking these kind of missions is that they require proper darkness. Any artificial light coming in from far away, from cities, from homes also, is considered as a distraction. That is why whenever the scientists choose these places, they have to be very obscure, where the human population is not that great, where there is no chance of any artificial light. But the problem with this kind of a location is it is so high up in the mountain, the temperatures can go up to minus 40 degree. It is very difficult for people to work there for longer periods of time. Many people get sick, many people have mountain sickness, there is lack of atmospheric oxygen also. That is why these telescopes can also be controlled remotely via satellite link. So that is also an option that has been given by the scientists. As I said, the Cherenkov radiation has been considered as extremely significant. A few months back, researchers were able to use Cherenkov radiation device artificially built to detect cancer in the human body. That is why radiation such as a Cherenkov are extremely important for development of our medical science as well. This is a radiation which is emitted by charged particles such as electrons when they pass through some mediums. A good example of this can be the characteristic blue glow of the underwater nuclear reactors. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have seen that online series that was based on Homi Jahangir Bhabha and Vikram Sarabhai. That is the Rocket Boys. If you see that series, there's a scene when they are actually testing underwater nuclear reactors and there is a blue glow underwater. This is what they are referring to as the Cherenkov radiation. These were the important articles in the Hindu newspaper today. Now, a couple of practice questions. Number one, what is Cherenkov radiation? Elucidate its significance and its possible applications. Second, despite a huge boost given to Buddhism by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the religion still remains one of the smallest minority groups in India. Identify the possible reasons behind the same. Both these questions have to be answered within 250 words each. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a good weekend ahead and don't forget to register for the National Scholarship Test taking place tomorrow.